All right, so now we're going to multiply square roots, but now we have fractions. Now, in our first problem, we are multiplying the square root of 3 1/3 times the square root of 4 4/5. In order to multiply mixed numbers, what must we do first? Reduce. Reducing would be helpful, but that we're not going to reduce. There's nothing to reduce. How do you multiply? Improper fractions. We need improper fractions. So what is 3 1/3 as an improper fraction? 10/3. So we have the square root of 10 over the square root of 3 times, what is 4? Oh my goodness, you beat me to it. The square root of 24 over the square root of 5. Okay, now here's where you have a choice. You can do the long-winded way, and you can do 10 times 24 is the square root of 240. 3 times 15, you get the square root of 15, or 3 times 5 gets square root of 15. Or we can reduce right now and make life much easier. So what is another way of saying the square root of 10? 2 goes into 10. 2 and 5. So we could say that we have the square root of 2 times the square root of 5 over the square root of 3, because I don't think we can reduce the 3 at all. We're going to multiply that by square root of 24. Now, does 24 have any factors? Or can we break it apart? In particular, we're paying close attention to this term right here, 3 and 8. So I have the square root of 3 times the square root of 8. Now, I know this has a perfect square factor. I'm going to get back to this later. That's all over the square root of 5. Oh my goodness. Look. Square root of 5. Square root of 5. What is the square root of 5 divided by square root of 5? 5. It's not 0. 5. It's 1. 1. Oh my goodness, we have another 1 and 1. So we have 1 times 1 in the denominator, which gives us 1. Then we have the square root of 2 times the square root of 8, which is the square root of 16. Square root of 16. That's 4. Right. Which is 4, as you're yelling out to me. So the answer to this whole problem is just 4. See how easy it was when you could cancel things out? Now for our next problem. It's fine. The next problem, we don't have mixed numbers, which is fine. So now we have the square root of 6 over the square root of 5 multiplied by the square root of 50 over the square root of 9. Well, what is the square root of 9? 3. So we have 3. What's a way that I could break up the 50? Paying particular attention to this term here. Oh my goodness, the square root of 5 times the square root of 10. And that's over the square root of 5. Or sorry, square root of 6 over 5. Now, square root of 5 divided by square root of 5 is? You can tell at home that this class is really excited to be here. Square root of 5 divided by square root of 5 is? 1. Okay. Almost like they're paying attention. Square root of 6 and 3, well, they don't have any similar terms.
Wait, I have a question.
I'll address it in a moment. Square root of 6 times the square root of 10? Square root of 60. So we have the square root of 60 over 3. Does 60 have any perfect square factors? 4 goes into 60, doesn't it? It does. How many times does 4 go into 60? 15. So the square root of 4 is 2. So we have 2 15ths. Oh, sorry, 2 times the square root of 15 times 3, or over 3.
That was easy.